How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and I always like to make videos on my favorite cryptocurrencies when they're not blowing the competition away, when they're not totally in the green. I think it's important to buy the dip. Personally, a strategy that works for plenty of crypto traders. So I always like to keep you guys informed with the sort of behind the scenes stuff, because there's sort of a trend that happens in the cryptocurrency scene where the news tends to really only give attention where the cryptos are on a good day. The fact of the matter is that the news and even other cryptocurrency content creators like myself, they don't necessarily, the good ones at least will, but the normal, average everyday run of the mill, headline, let's be honest here, headlines are better when you could say that a crypto is going to the moon, that a bull run is imminent or happening, or, it certainly gets a lot more attention in the cryptocurrency space when, Bitcoin is at its all-time highs. Everybody seems to want to buy in, but for some reason, it's kind of funny to see. Like Holo is, I believe, one of the most undervalued cryptocurrencies in the space, and that also sort of does play into the neglect that it gets in the space. I think that there should be a lot more attention on HoloChain than there already is, so I'm always happy to make a video about HoloChain, especially during the dip, just because that's sort of the way that I always like to approach these sort of things. Of course, high risk, high reward. This video is not financial advice. I'm not your dad, yada, yada. You already know the drill. But when it comes down to it, I think that it's interesting to see just, how these cryptos that'll basically benefit from the evolution of the technology aspect of cryptocurrency. And now this is moving beyond blockchain. And I think that when we want to talk about the sheer potential that's in store for HoloChain, this is a good place to start. Of course, today we're looking at some interesting things. Binance, will soon in September not basically be allowing U.S. users. I believe they'll be creating their own Binance for U.S. users to be more compliant. Whether you see this as a good thing or a bad thing, I think that it is interesting to see just the various different cryptos that we still have potential. You still have a few months to go before a lot of these things are put into effect, but I see it as a more of a symptom of mass adoption being right around the corner, more or less. I'm not depressed or sad in the slightest when it comes to seeing these different things happen, because we knew that this was going to happen. We knew that we were in the wild west age of crypto. We still are to a large extent. And this is sort of the reason, the sentiment behind this video that I wanted to put out there is the fact of the matter, we need to be able to take advantage of the opportunities as they present themselves. And this is also, sort of like for anybody who sees the writing on the wall, for anybody who actually, wants to be in the right place at the right time. Facebook's new cryptocurrency has been making some big waves in the space, and this is going to open up the door to billions of people all around the world who probably will have more access to cryptocurrency, and it will bring about that more mainstream appeal. So I think that we are at sort of an accelerated growth period right now, and it's definitely going to be interesting just to see how the space continues to make a lot of these different developments. Whether or not you see these things as good or bad, the fact of the matter is that it's always important to be prepared. Facebook has secured Visa and MasterCard as two of the backers of the new cryptocurrency. And I think that this is an interesting sign. The signs of adoption are all over the place when it comes to Bitcoin and all these different things. And we have to remember that this space is a game of accumulation. So for anybody who's been holding HoloChain, hats off to you. I mean, congratulations. I mean, it's definitely a hard ride, and I know how much strength it takes to sort of overcome a lot of the different FUD that we see in the space. And overall, I just want to just put this video out there, and just say that we are still so early in the space, but at the same time, I mean, I think when people look back on the price of HoloChain just being where it is, I mean, you can get a hot for well under a penny at this point, but I think the potential for Holo to be valued much higher is there. Once we see a lot more of these uses and all these different applications. And I mean, I spoke to a friend of mine who actually uses HoloChain with their business, and it is very interesting to see the level of professionalism that they're working with and the ability to sort of blow the competition out of the water in a large sense. So it is interesting to see how the space has been making a lot of these different developments. And when you watch a video on this channel, that you're going to get a certain level of content, that you're going to get a certain level of information. And we really sort of pride ourselves, this entire channel has been built on the providing value to the community. And I just like to put a big fat thank you out there to everybody who's helped us come up until this point. I am using the Brave browser now so that you guys don't have to see any ads and stuff like that, and I'm very happy with it so far. Awesome to see that I mean, I don't know, I just like to have this sort of feedback with the audience and let you guys know what I'm doing. And when we move forward into the next stage of cryptocurrency, it's going to look completely different than the way that it is right now, and we're sort of in that accelerated growth curve right now. But overall, I am excited to see what HoloChain is going to bring to the table. As far as moving forward from this point, we are seeing some very exciting things in terms of partnerships, in terms of developments when it comes to the technology. And I think that there is a lot to be said. I mean, especially when we're seeing more people who want that control over their data. They're really thirsty for that next stage of where the internet's going to take us, and the potential that's in store for a lot of these different things. And I mean, if you've read the white paper on these things, I mean, if you've done your research, sure, I mean, I'm fully confident in all of you. I think that we've had a really great run, and it's awesome to see, and I think that, as HoloChain continues to make these movements forward, there is a bright future ahead of us, and it's just great to see all these different things coming together in the cryptocurrency space, in a very timely fashion. And like I said, you have to remember it is a game of accumulation. It is a game of working with around all these different variables as they continue to move forward. And it's just important to not get disgruntled. It's important to just remain optimistic and make those trades that are going to be able to be beneficial for you. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. And I'm definitely excited to see how all these things are going to be. And I think it's going to be awesome to see how HoloChain flexes its muscles, in particular when we're in the current space as it stands. I mean, like I said, Bitcoin having a pretty fine day, but a lot of the altcoins might be in trouble, in particular with what we're seeing happening involving the movements of a lot of these different variables, and it might have a residual effect. But overall, I mean, stay confident and make sure that you are not buying into any of the FUD.